Okay, so this is the history of swear words and their impact on society. My name is Adamar Ariano, and I'm going to tell you all about that. If you've ever wondered where kind of swear words come from and how they affect society, their history, I'm going to tell you about that. So we all learn swear words when we're kids, and we all kind of keep them in our mind, and when we use them as we age, and it kind of causes us to not only use them in bad situations, but also when we shouldn't. And this is the history of swear words. So starting with the F word, so it was kind of hard to trace it back in history, as it was banned from early written works back in the kind of 14th to 15th century, back in that time, and only until 1966 was added back into dictionaries, and it can be traced back to Germanic language back in around the 14th century when they were really using that word, or the word that they would use was spelled F-I-C-K-E-N, ficken, or try to pronounce it. But this word is used for many informal and familiar situations, like stubbing your toe, being used for pains, kind of situations when you would want to say some sort of expletive to express your emotions. And in the last century, this word had developed into what we know now, into a lot of the words that we say really often, and it's kind of developed into more familiar with and what we use often in society. And how it affects society, it causes people to say it more often. We use it, as I said, expletives for pain, for anger, for emotions, and oftentimes to express those emotions to other people that are nearby. And now on to the S word, or spelled S-H-I-T, and this is the most common used swear word in America, as we use it a lot at times in society, and kind of even when we don't know it. And it can be traced back to Old English, back in Germanic times, as well as for most of these words, or if anything, all of them. And it was used to kind of describe an obnoxious person back in history, kind of describe someone that was annoying, in a sense. And this kind of shows how it expanded through time. So it started as a Germanic word, and then as well as Old English, Dutch, and German, and it developed into what we know now as the S word. And the word has really developed into what we know now in the past century, and here's some phrases that we oftentimes use in our society, and kind of affects us because we oftentimes don't know when we're saying it, especially when we're angry. And how the S word has affected society as well. As with most of these words, they can express some sort of pain or anger. This word specifically can also be used in some sort of unfortunate circumstance, and a lot of times it's not appropriate in professional circumstances. Now onto the word damn, as this is one of the words that most people are really comfortable saying, and it's gone through a lot of evolutions over time. It's changed different meanings, especially through different languages. And it was really traced back to Latin through the word damnum, meaning hurt or harm or loss. And back then, this was really what they would use to kind of express this emotion or situation. And it came from other words, something that we really use often in our society, the word dang. And these are really similar in what they mean because they kind of have the same definition in the context that they're used. And in today's language and how it affects society, it can express concern, sadness, or anger, as well as for most of the words on this list, it can express anger. And so, yeah. And now we're on to the last word, which is another word for the S word, or C-R-A-P, crap. And it has a basis in farming technology, as it was used to describe something that was of little worth. We've really been desensitized to it because we say it so often, as well as damn. That's one of the words, these both are words that we say a lot, therefore we're really used to saying them a lot in society, and it doesn't affect us as much as the previous words. And how does it affect society? Oftentimes it's used to describe something of little to no worth, like I said in farming terminology. It has become less of a swear word, but it's still really not appropriate in professional circumstances. So this is kind of to show you how swear words have affected society in history. It's caused us to be more mindful about what we say and helps us express strong emotions, and it can cause tension or anger amongst people.